And it's not like you have persons who are going out, you know, trying to put in a catheter and they're struggling to put in a catheter because their fingernail just too long. I've never heard about any situation like that because their fingernail is too long or their eyelashes are too long. No, people are still getting the work done. As many as nurses are still doing chest compression, saving lives. Don't really see a big deal with it if it is not causing any harm to the patient. I'm not encouraging it, but I'm just saying, if their boss never see it and I complain, like, why are we in the public to be complaining about certain things that are not endangering the patient? Alright, so yes, so I went online a few days ago and I've been seeing a lot of persons talking about nurses and their money. I see people talking about, you know, nurses and the makeup, nurses and the hair, nurses and this and whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, then what is it that is causing all of this? Why persons are just so after nurses? Is it because you have so many nurses and you have so many doctors as well that look good? You have other professionals that are looking good on internet or on TikTok and other social media platform. And I don't see why nurses are being attacked so much. Like, I scrolling through, I know probably because I'm a nurse, the algorithm just forward all of them things there to me. But I don't know what the problem is. I saw one video where this lady was talking about nurses are wearing eyelashes, long eyelashes. The fingernails are very long. And there were so many things that she was talking about that is making a nurse not seem as though she's a professional. And for me, I think that is just wrong, because you have other professionals out there that are wearing their long fingernail, they're wearing their long hair, they're looking good, they're looking cute, and yet still I don't really see anybody attacking them. So why is it? Is the case because back in the days, you know, when Florence Nightingale was, you know, doing nursing, or when nursing was actually started, them time there, you never really have much style, you never have no trend, nothing never that go on them time there. You understand? People just know that, oh, you put on your clothes and you go out there and that was it. In the days, I don't think anybody was kind of focused on that because things were scarce. You never really have that much. You understand? They had a lot of cloth, so persons were well dressed, and I think sometimes they probably too dressed, well dressed back in the day, because some of them didn't have some clothes that look like, you know, a wedding dress, and they were doing nursing work. So I think back then they had a lot of cloth or materials to go ahead and put on, you know, adequate amount of clothing. But nowadays things have changed. We have evolved. Nursing have evolved to the point where you can look good and you can be a part of whatever trend is going on. You understand? So I don't understand why a lot of persons are kind of bashing nurses to say that, oh, them are wear this kind of clothes. Some of them complain about the scrubs not wearing. Them complain that the scrubs too tight. Yeah, so I understand. So sometimes the scrubs too tight and look like a little bit of room. But come on, man. They don't have to make it seem like that. I've seen like doctors online and they can't hardly breathe in them scrub, and they're getting the work done. So I don't know if it's a case where persons are just looking at it to say who is in the scrub or who is in the limelight at the time, who is getting the popularity, you know, vote, why persons are attacking them. Because I can't understand if a doctor and a nurse or a radiologist or somebody else, any other professional, is doing the same thing that nurses are doing on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. I don't understand why the nurses are being attacked about it. A lot of times they hear to talk about the nurses and them eyelashes. You understand? And yes, we know the eyelashes them long, you know, they're long. Sometimes I feel wonder if the nurses them can't see. But honestly, the nurses are actively doing their job. They're actively doing their job, and it not bother any patient. I can't understand if they were looking at the patient and the patient was feeling a little bit of a cool breeze because the eyelashes were just too long. But I don't hear nobody complain about them stuff there. So I don't understand why we're making a big deal about the nurses and their eyelashes. I know these nurses are aware that their fingernails need to be low cut and, you know, it must be appropriate. Don't really see a big deal with it if it is not causing any harm to the patient. I'm not encouraging it, but I'm just saying, if their boss never see it and I complain, like, why are we in the public to be complaining about certain things that are not endangering the patient? You understand? It's not endangering the patient. So obviously these nurses are keeping their fingernail well, you know, trimmed up and well looking good and cute, while their boss is not saying anything about it. And so it is okay for them to continue doing their job. And it's not like you have persons who are going out, you know, trying to put in a catheter and they're struggling to put in a catheter because their fingernail just too long. I've never heard about any situation like that where you have a nurse struggling for placing a catheter or for placing an NG tube or doing any wound care because their fingernail is too long or their eyelashes are too long. No, people are still getting the work done. And some of those nurses are still doing chest compression, saving lives. So I don't really understand what the big deal, what the big fuss about people and them makeup and them eyelashes and them fingernail. A lot of persons are wearing makeup nowadays. So what the difference between nurses wearing makeup? Like, yes, a lot of persons put on a little bit extra, or you know, it's a little bit heavy for some persons, but you don't know the reason. You don't know the reason. Some persons are covering up a little bit of a blemish or something, and that is what they are comfortable in. And at the end of the day, they go out, and a lot of persons just complain about it. Because when I go to the office sometime, not the nursing office, but I go to some offices seeking job, you see some persons there and them face cake up with makeup as well. Them a hand their paper and the first thing you touch on them fingernail. Like so many things. So I don't think we need to be bashing our nurses like that and be complaining about them not being professional, because I think they're still professionals, you know, doing their thing. Not because they're wearing long fingernail, it doesn't mean that they're not professional, or if they're wearing a thick layer of face product, or they're wearing some long hairstyle, or their lashes are just too long. I think they still are professionals, you know. The last thing you want is for a nurse to go out there looking like, you know, this. You see my hairstyle right about now? It's not everybody can wear them hairstyle here. It's not everybody can wear it. It's not saying that I have a lot of self-confidence and all, but me have a little bit of a confidence kind of wear this hairstyle because I don't really know anything else outside of probably faux locks and this kind of hairstyle, because I've never tried anything. But you have so many persons that are doing trial with different braids or hairstyle, and they love it, they can afford it, so they're gonna stick with it. And if, you know, they still can keep their job with wearing that kind of hair, or their fingernails looking a certain way, or their eyelashes looking the same, then I don't see why we should be giving up. I don't see why we should be making a big problem with it. I understand if probably you are their boss, you know, and you want to come and vent, or if you hire them, then I understand that. But if you do speak with them and you are their boss, their employer, let me know so them are going to tone it down. But until then, I don't see anything wrong with the nurses and their, you know, their way of doing things. They come in and some of them just bring a little bit of extra spice to the room. You understand? Some bring a little extra spice to the room. And some people do give a lot of persons some things to talk about. And that is just it. You have a lot of persons who put on their makeup, you know, and their fingernail, their scrubs, and they just feel as though they're the sexiest thing on earth. You understand? And when they go out there, it's like they're giving their best because they just feel good in their skin. So for persons who are complaining, just kind of ease upon them a little bit. Just ease upon us a little bit, you know, and understand that it's 2025, new trends, new style. Them something here now wear again. You have a few persons, as I say, who might be able to rock it, but a lot of persons are not going to be rocking a natural hairstyle in 2025. They're not going to be doing that. So just understand that it's a new era when you have a lot of Gen Zs out there. You have the Gen Z Bible that is different. I don't hear nobody complain about it. You understand? I don't hear nobody complain about it, but it still exists. So let's just kind of keep it down a little bit for the nurses, and kudos to the ones that are going out there and keeping the crowd talking and making us, you know, continue being the spotlight. All right, but anyways, that was just my 2 cents on the topic there. Until then, thank you so much for tuning in and making it the Think Nursing. And remember to go out and shine, and however you normally go out and shine, just go out and do it. So if it means that you're gonna put on your little makeup and you're gonna put on your fingernail and you feel good about it, then do you. All right, just do you. Until then, I will see you next time. All right, bye.